Hey guys, what is up? It's Yash here, and today, as you can see, I have a special something for you. Today we're going to, instead of just playing games or just doing gameplay walkthroughs, we're going to actually learn something new. As you can see, I've opened up Cinema 4D. I use this software to edit and make 3D stuff. Some of the intros and videos you must have seen on my channel, they're made in Cinema 4D. So if you like 3D editing and 3D stuff, you're into that shit, you should keep watching. And in this video, I'm basically gonna go through all the basic steps and get to know your interface sort of thing. So let's get started. So Cinema 4D is a 3D rendering engine. It's a very good engine. You can also get 3ds Max, but I prefer Cinema 4D because I started off with this. So you can get it online. You can order it from Maxon, or you can just you can buy the copy online or from a retailer if you can. So basically, once you open up the window, you'll get some kind of this sort of layout, and this is Cinema 4D R15 version. So as you can see, it's R15. So basically over here you have all your selection tools. This is your light selection tool, rectangle selection tool, and lasso and polygon. So normally we use the light selection. This is your move tool, scale tool, rotate tool, but I'll show you the shortcuts to all of those. X, Y, and Z axis, because 3D space is like 3-dimensional, so X, Y, and Z. This is your coordinate system. You won't be using this button a lot, trust me. This is your render view. This is a very important button. It's to get the rough sketch or rough idea of what you're going to render. This is render to picture viewer, similar sort of thing, but you render it to the picture viewer. This is your render settings. So here you got all your different settings for rendering. I'll go through that pretty soon. This is your basic primitive shapes, all your shapes that you can import into Cinema 4D, which come with the package. It's very basic. If I say cube, there, a cube just appeared, and yeah, you can these are your quick tools. This is your move tool, so you go up, down, left, right with this one, zoom in, zoom out with this one, and this is basically the rotate. So yeah, this is your spline tool, so you can draw splines with this, and it's pretty cool. This is your special, these are your special tools. Subdivision surface, it's like your hypernodes. You will not know what hypernodes are. They're if you use subdivision surface on something which is really rough, it makes it smooth. It gives it more segments or more polygons, so it's smoother. Extrude is it pulls out everything. For example, I'll give you an example of extrude. So if I make a spline and a rectangle, and if I put an extrude nerve on it and pull it there, see, it got a depth. If I take it out, it's just a line, as you can see right now. But if I put it under it, which I make it a child of the extrude, the rectangle is a child of the extrude, and if I click on extrude, I'll get a bunch of settings over here, subdivision, iso subdivision, and blah blah blah. So in movement, we can set it up to longer. So there we go. See, this is basically the extrude tool. And after that we have lathe tool, loft, sweep, and bezier. So sweep is basically, you must have seen some videos online of sweeping text or some sweep. That's achieved with the sweep. And in the next one we have more tools. So you have the array, atom array, bool. Bool is mostly used to make holes in stuff. So, and you have symmetry. Symmetry is used a lot in many of my projects where I have to make I have to make a car, suppose, for example, or maybe something else, and I just make one side of it and the other side I use symmetry. So that is pretty useful. Metaball, I've used metaball. It turns everything into more subdivision, like a Mercury kind of effect. I have a video of metaball. If you haven't seen it, check out my channel, and you get pretty cool effects from this. And then we have the effects tool. So whatever polygons you make, you can bend, bulge, shear, taper, twist, blah blah blah, so many stuff, so much. So you can do all of this. This is your cameras. So basically mostly we're going to use camera or target camera. Motion camera is for your motion graphics and your lighting. So we have your light, spotlight, target light, area light, I don't know what this is, infinite light and sunlight. So mostly we'll be using sunlight, but there are many plugins. If you are interested in actually getting better quality renders, you can check out Grayscale Gorilla. It's a really good website and all their plugins are paid, so you can check those guys out. So I'm gonna show you the basics of rendering a very simple scene, if you want to put it. A very simple scene. Like, I could make it more complicated, but this is the first video, so I'm going to keep it real simple. So let's just take a sphere and I'll show you what these controls do right here. So it's self-explanatory. The radius increases the size of the sphere, as you can see. But suppose I just put it to like say 200 there. And if you hit the render view button, you get a quick render of it. And if you hit the render to picture viewer, you go into the picture viewer and you get a render in that. So that is pretty cool. So as you can see in the render, this is not very smooth. As you can see, the edges 1, 2. So I'll just make this editable and show you what's actually going on over here. So, and this, I forgot to tell you what this is. This is your point selection, this is your edge selection, polygon selection. So we go to polygon selection. So you can see all the polygons this sphere is made of. It's pretty crude and not very smooth. So you won't get a very high quality render from this one. So to avoid that from happening, what you do is, I just pressed Ctrl Z for undo because and if you hit C on your keyboard after selecting any object, it makes that object editable. Or you can just hit this button, which is make editable button, and as you can see, shortcut C. So how to avoid this low quality thing is just crank up the segments to like maybe 36. But remember one thing, don't crank up the segments too high or your rendering time will go up like drastically. Like if I put it to like 100, my render is gonna be super slow, but it doesn't make a difference. Like after maybe 42, 45, 36, anything's good. So now if I make it editable, you can see it's much more better. It's a finer mesh of polygon and it's much smoother to the eye, if you noticed it. So we got our sphere set up, and now we're gonna try to make a studio. So to make a studio, it's pretty simple. Place in a cube, increase the width and Y dimensions to about 2000, and push your sphere back. Okay. Decrease the Z to about say 1500. 1500. Let's just crank it up for now. 3000. Okay, that's better. And turn this to 1000. And this tab, I almost forgot to tell you, this tab is your environment and background tabs. So this is your basic floor, your physical sky, which is your very realistic looking sky. This is your sky tag, environment, foreground, background. This is self-explanatory. So I'm going to select the floor tag over here, floor. So as you can see, I just got a floor over here. I'm going to move my camera up using this move tool. And you can see we got a very basic looking studio over here. It's nothing special, but it's pretty good. It'll do the job for this tutorial. So just move the floor down. So we got a nice bit of space over there. I'm not going to use any special plugins for this video, so I'm just going to use the basic stuff. And if I render now, it doesn't look very good, like there's nothing. So as you can see, there's a space over here. You can double click here to make a texture. A texture is something that you put on an object so it looks kind of different. So let's just make a very basic texture. As you can see in the material editor, you got color, diffusion, luminance. Color is the basic color of the object. Diffusion is how it diffuses the light that hits it. Luminance is how like does it glow, like a kind of glow. Transparency, well, whether the object's transparent or not. Reflection is how reflective the object is. Environment tag is like how it reacts to the environment. Fog bump are like to create like some kind of texture, like maybe rusted metal or something that has an abrasion or the surface is kind of bumpy, so you can do that. Specular is kind of like how the light reacts with your object. Glow is whether your object glows or not, and the rest are not that important. So let's go into color, and maybe with this sphere I want it to be red, really bright red. And luminance, I'm going to have it slightly luminant, say 2%. Specular, I'm going to shorten the curve and really spike it up, not that much, kind of like that. And in reflection, I'm going to turn on reflection. To turn on any of the attributes, you have to hit the checkbox. So I hit the reflection checkbox over here, and I'm going to turn down the reflection to about, say, 15, 18. Let's make that 18. So we got this really nice candid red texture, like a candy ball. So let's just drag and drop this over here, or you can put it directly on the sphere over here. So we can just put it over here. And now if I render, I get a red sphere, but still it doesn't look good at all. So we're gonna give some texture to the floor and the cube. So cube, I was thinking, let's just increase the segments to 10 and 10 and 10 and press C to make it editable. So you get this kind of cube. So to add some maybe special feel, we're just gonna create a white texture, a very plain kind of white paint kind of texture. Never take super white, just a bit below that. And luminance, no luminance, and reflection, no reflection or very minimal reflection, like 1-2%. And put it on the walls as well as the floor. And you can also do it this way, like floor. So as you can see, now if I render, I get a much better thing. Like this, you can see the floors, the walls, the cube, the red cube. So what I'm going to do is just zoom out a little bit, this, like so, and they're going to select and loop selection. So what loop selection does, it selects a whole array of polygons, like as you can see. So what I'm going to do is select, select, select. That's it. I'm going to create a new texture. Let's make it like gray, really gray, you know, and turn up the reflection a little, maybe 2-3%, and drag and drop that texture. So you can see we have an interesting thing going on over here. So if I hit render over here, wow, it already looks much better. Now to make this render look more realistic, we're going to need to change the settings, which are render settings, as I said, in your toolbox. This is kind of your bar. So just hit this button and you'll come into this. So anti-aliasing, just turn that to best. No need to fidget with these settings right now. And effects, let's go ambient occlusion and global illumination. So now guys, I'm going to render this one. So we didn't get any light because there was no light. So let's just take a light and drag it up, place it over here, maybe a little over here and a little over here, and hit the render button. Now as you can see, the render, it looks, when it's rendering, it looks much more different and all. So let's just wait till this happens. Okay guys, so the picture is rendering, and as you can see, we have a much more realistic looking render. Right here you can see the room reflections on the cube, like the design that goes and the shadows, they're pretty good and everything looks pretty good. But there are ways to fine tune it and improve it further. So, and guys, if you need like a heavy duty machine to do this, so as you just saw, I clicked on the button right there, it's telling me to do that your PC is heated up. So yeah, don't do this if you don't have a good computer, like at least quad core minimum. So yeah, don't tell me I fried your computer and shit. So that is basically your damn it, that is your basic of Cinema 4D that I just told you. And I'll be telling you more in detail in next episode. I hope you like this video. Watch my other videos, my gameplay and all the games that I play. It's fun and I would like it if you watch those videos. Give me a like if you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.